I can no longer see my daughter. And it's my fault. It's my fault. I take full responsibility and I take full accountability for what I chose to do. And there's no easy way out of the matrix. There's no easy way out of this game. There's no easy way to succeed as a man without sacrifice. And I chose my sacrifice. I chose my sacrifices. And being there for family is one of those sacrifices. Being there for my daughter all the time is one of those sacrifices. I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to do something my father didn't do. I'm trying to do something my mother didn't do. I'm trying to do something most people are not capable of doing or care not to do in the first place. I can't be there at every dance rehearsal. I can't be there at every practice. I can't be there at every dance. I can't be there at every game. I can't be there all the time when my daughter needs me. And that's the fate that I am willing to accept to give her a better life, to give her better options than I had growing up, to give her an overall better quality of life. See, you can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't serve two masters before both start to overlap with each other. And they will overlap. You can't be the number one dad in the world while simultaneously trying to be the number one dad in the world. Right? You can't do both. If you want to give your daughter, give your children, give your family the best possible life that you can give them, and you didn't have any handouts, you didn't have nobody in your ear telling you to do this and to do that, you didn't have mentors growing up, right? Your father, your mother were fuck ups, or they were mediocre, they just did the normie way of life. They just conducted themselves like NPCs, like most people on this planet, most people in America. They didn't do anything with their life but wake up and go to work and come back home and go to sleep and eat like shit and work like shit and be shit. I chose a different route. I chose a different route because I want to win. I want to win by any means necessary, according to my principles, according to my integrity, according to my beliefs. I'm willing to do whatever is necessary or die trying. And many of you are probably going to be like, well, the chasing isn't everything. When you're chasing it, I mean, you're not being there for your family. She's going to remember that and this, that, and the third. Listen. I've already thought this stuff out. I've already went through scenario after scenario after scenario. There's no way to win. There's no way to win. If I sit back and give her all of my time, try to be there all the time, guess what else? Guess what has to sacrifice? Guess what goes down in the gutter? My work ethic. The possibilities of me going above and beyond. me being great, not just for myself, but for my lineage. That goes down the drain if I give her all of my time, if I'm there all the time. As a man, I have to understand, even if it may hurt, that I can't be there all the time. I can't be there 24/7. And maybe she will grow to resent that. Maybe she will grow and wish that daddy was there all the time. Maybe she'll grow to wish that she wished daddy was there more than he was. Right? Maybe. That's a possibility. I'm not saying that possibility won't exist, and I'm not saying that that's not a way to look at it. Rightfully so. But ultimately, I'm in a lose-lose situation in that case. Because if I give her all my time, then this side suffer. And if I don't give her all my time, well, that side suffers while the other is for longevity. But I've decided that one is more important than the other, which is preparing her for life, preparing her with resources, preparing her with cushion, preparing her with the knowledge that I will accumulate over time, right? Making sure that she doesn't have to want for anything. And I've heard horror stories of, listen, I grew up with a few rich kids who they stayed in big homes, right? They stayed in these big ass houses. Mom and dad was always out of town, and they throw, big old parties while their parents were out of town. They had all the drugs there. They had as much sex as they wanted to. Nobody was overseeing them, right? The parents were very lenient. Like I seen those kids grow up. I seen those type of kids grow up. And yes, those kids had to be some of the most depressed kids, right? With all the money, with all the resources, staying in the big old house, right? Wanting for nothing, while at the same time wanting the attention of their parents, wanting the attention of their mom, wanting the attention of their dad, just wanting that quality time, right? And some of them, ended up being nothing in life because they feel like they didn't get the time with their parents that they so much crave. They didn't care about the resources. They didn't care about, any of that. They just cared about the quality time. Right? And we can go on and on about that. We can name the pros and we can name the cons, but there's no ultimate W in this. There's no ultimate W. So you have to decide what the W is going to be yourself. This is for the men with children and families and things of that nature, right? For you single guys who don't have kids and, whatever, this is not for you. But this is for the guys who, you watching this and maybe you got a wife, maybe you got some kids, right? Maybe you got a girlfriend. Listen, you can't serve two masters at the same time, right? You can't be a great man, in my opinion. You can't be a great man giving your time, all of your time, to your woman and your kids. That's not your job. That's not your job at all. See, your job is to put the mother in the right position. Your job is to put the mother in the right position. This is why I don't agree with 50-50 relationships. This is why I really don't even agree with men getting into relationships unless they can fully take care of their woman. to the point where if y'all decide to have kids, she doesn't have to work, right? Because if both parents are gone, then that's a recipe for disaster. She's not getting the dad in his entirety, and she or he is not getting the mother in her entirety. That's a lose-lose situation, and that's what we're seeing in today's society. We're seeing a bunch of losers being raised by the system. The system is creating a bunch of losers because the parents decided to become losers themselves. They decided to pour into the system so much that they just gave their children away to the system. And that's what I do not want to do. That's what I refuse to do. So if I have to be the sacrificial lamb, then that's what I would do. And her mother will be able to explain to her, you know, if I died trying, I died with my integrity. I died wanting the best. I died doing everything that I could by any means necessary. And I hope to God that that holds more weight than anything. Because I can't go on in life not doing what I'm here to do, not following my purpose, not building, not creating. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. And I'm the type of man that I want her to be with. Right? And what do I mean by that? I want her with a man that doesn't put her first. Because a man that puts a woman first, a man that puts his family first, is not a man. You can't be. You can't be. Your purpose comes before anything. Your purpose comes before anything because God ordained your purpose first. God ordained your purpose first. You were supposed to be on your purpose first anyway before that woman came along, before that family came along. You were supposed to be on your purpose anyway. So ultimately, if you're a man and you're putting your family before your purpose, you're putting God before the family. So you're already in a losing position. Because you're already you're bending the natural order out of shape. So I want her with the man that doesn't put her first. I want her with the man that doesn't put the family first, but his purpose first, so that the family is the direct beneficiaries of his purpose. And that's what I ultimately mean with this video, right? I can no longer see my daughter in the way that even I desire to see her. But that's my whole purpose of grinding now. I've been grinding for years. I've been grinding since she was born. I've been grinding to pave a way, open up doors. And it's a slow but steady process, but that's what I have to do. That's what I need to do, or I will die trying. I will die trying. And she just has to grow to understand that her dad was a man. Not just any man, a man's man, a God's man, an ordained man, a purpose-driven man. That's what she has to grow to understand. And maybe it'll take her a minute to come to that understanding once she become an actual adult herself and actually learn, the ins and outs, which I'm going to teach her as well. But when she finally comes into womanhood herself and has to see what a man has to go through and what a man has to do just to survive in his world. Right? No longer can a man be normal and survive. Right? And no, I'm not talking about freaking panhandling. No, I'm not talking about barely making it. No, I'm not talking about working day in and day out and you're not making a dent in nothing, not making a dent in your finances, not making a dent in your savings, not better off this year than you were the previous year. No, that's not surviving. That's not surviving. That's a dead man's life. You're a dead man walking. That's not living to me. That's not even surviving to me. Right? That's not surviving to me. And this is what a lot of men are missing. This is what a lot of men are missing. A lot of men put women first. A lot of men want to put their family first. A lot of men put their purpose and put everything else that they were here to do on the back burner. But then wonder why your family is in shambles. Wonder why your life is in shambles. Wonder why you're sad. Wonder why you're depressed. Wonder why you're frustrated. Wonder why you're angry. Because your purpose is not first, my dude. Your purpose is not first, bro. But your purpose has to come first before anything. Even if some people have to suffer emotionally. It is what it is. And I've accepted that fate. I've accepted my walk. I've accepted my journey for what it is. There's no winning without sacrifice at all. For those of you who think that you're going to win without sacrificing, that you're going to win having the best of both worlds, right? That you're going to win when nobody before you won and set the stage up for you to be able to get a head start if nobody did. No. You're not going to win that way. You're not going to win, and you're going to hit your head. I'm telling you this now. You're in a world of trouble if you think that you can have the best of both worlds while you're building. It's impossible. It's impossible to build something from the ground up while giving other people all of your energy, right? I'm not saying that it's going to be a full-blown neglect. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that daddy works 5 days a week at his regular job. And then after the regular job, he's working 5 days a week after he gets off the regular job, building whatever he's building a YouTube, building another business, right? Paving a way. So in all our honesty, daddy is working 7 days a week. And he makes time, but that time is limited. Because that most of that time and energy has to be put into building something, not just for myself, but to leave my kids, to leave my legacy, right? To leave them something, a cushion. So when they fall, well, at least they bump their head on a pillow. See, the thing about me, there's nobody coming to my rescue. There's nobody coming to save me. So when I fall, I hit the concrete. Right? I don't have knee pads on. I don't have shoulder pads on. I don't have a helmet on. So when I fall, they may have to take me to the hospital. Because I'm falling with no cushion. I'm falling with no protection. Right? When my kids fall, I want them to have a helmet on. When my kids fall, I want them to have shoulder pads on. When my kids fall, I want them to have knee pads on. When my kids fall, I want them to be next to a fire station. I want them to be next to an ambulance when they fall. I want them to be next to a hospital when they fall. Right? And they'll have to grow to understand that. And when they become adults, they can look back when they finally become the knowledgeable and intelligent adults that they will become. They will look back and say, damn, dad did that. Damn, I'm grateful for what dad did. Because without dad, we would have had to get this out the mud. We would have had to start from ground zero. Everybody don't have what it takes to get out of the mud. Everybody don't have what it takes to start from ground zero. Everybody don't have what it takes. And every other generation or so, there comes that one. Maybe two, but comes that one who builds it up from ground zero, who really got it out the mud, who really made themselves something and continued to make their kids something, continued to make their grandkids something. Every generation or so, every other generation or so, there comes a special character. There comes a special kind of person only a special kind of person can do this shit. Only a special kind of person can understand what it really takes. And that's why I really do have empathy for a lot of people in humanity, because I finally understand what this shit takes. And to be all out honest with you, what it really takes, a lot of you could not handle. 99% of men couldn't handle this shit. 99% of people cannot handle the pressures of this shit. Y'all look at the big YouTubers and think this shit is all glitz and glamour. Nah, people put the time in. People put the work in. People sacrifice time with family members, sacrifice time with kids, sacrifice time with people that they adored and loved. They had to sacrifice, right? They had to sacrifice to give those same people everything that they wanted to give them, even if they were undeserving, right? They did it for them, not just for themselves. So, gentlemen, your purpose is bigger than you. Your purpose is bigger than you. You have to lead in your purpose, but your purpose is bigger than you, right? You have people who are waiting on you. You have people waiting to meet you along the way. People who are relying on you to get the information that you need. People who are relying on you to get the knowledge that you need, because they need that knowledge and information that you have. They need to see you pull up in that pull up. They need to see you pull up so they can get motivated, right? So they can start their journey. They need to see you in the mall spending money. They need to see you on vacation, right? They need to hear you speak about your journey and where you come from and how hard it was for you to get to the point that you are. They waiting on you. People are waiting on you. But some of you will never meet the people that you were supposed to meet. You won't motivate the people you were supposed to motivate, because you put your purpose on the back burner. You put your kids first. You put your wife first. You put your girlfriend first. You put everybody first but you and your purpose. And I can't do it. I refuse to be a failure. I refuse to not give it my all. Because she didn't ask to come into this world. Neither did I. Neither did you. Right? But I was dealt the cards that I was dealt. Right? So I got to play my hand accordingly. And if making those sacrifices is what it takes for me to get to the next level, for me to do what I need to do, even if she may emotionally resent that, everything has its sacrifices. Everything, there's an up and a down. There's a left and a right. There's a negative and a positive. Right? And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe. Here's some videos for you guys until I upload again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.